Hey y'all, welcome to the filling station. So in this video we are building our watch list using inside day candles, and what that normally does is if it break above this point, then this will be the target, or if by chance we break under another level, then this would be the possible to the downside target. Now let me first y'all give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth, and yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. If you could please like, share, comment, subscribe, y'all, all of that, because we learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So the first one on the list today is Apple. Apple is an inside day candle. It normally moves about $13.45 per day. So if by chance we break back above this 198.83, we have an upside target of $200.70. Now to the downside, under 194.42. Downside target for Apple is 192.37. We closed at 196.98, and again it moves 13.45, and that could be in either direction. So Apple is an inside day candle. Now AAL, American Airlines, is also an inside day candle. Not really a big mover, let's say that, and it's been trading sideways, so it should be an interesting move. Now, if by chance we break back above $9.56, upside target $9.96. Now, to the downside, if by chance we break under $9.28, downside target here is $9.27. Not far at all, considering it moves 89 cents per day. So if you're trading AAL or American Airlines, it is an inside day candle. AI is next on our list. Now, if by chance we break above 1956, upside target 1986. Now, to the downside, under 1907, we have a downside target for AI at $18.97, and it normally moves $1.69 per day. Again, in either direction. We closed at $19.35. So if that is something that you trade, I say trade carefully. Amazon is next on our list as an inside day candle. Amazon closed at $172.61. Y'all, it normally moves $11.96 per day. Again, that could be in either direction. So let's say if by chance we break back above this 176.17, we have an upside target 179.21. Now to the downside, under 171.98. Downside target 171.46. So if you trade Amazon, it is an inside day candle. Bank of America is next on our list. It normally moves $2.24 per day, again in either direction. Now, if by chance we break above $37.91, we have $38.19 as the target. To the downside, under $37.22, we have a downside target for Bank of America, or BAC, at $36.96. So again, it normally moves $2.24. If you trade Bank of America, it is an inside day candle. C, or Citigroup, is next on our list as an inside day candle. So if by chance we break above the level here of $63.73, let me make sure I have that right. $63.73. We have an upside target of $63.82. Not very far, right? But to the downside, under $61.78, we have $61.26. That's a downside target. Citigroup, or C, normally moves about $4.38. That is the ATR, which is the average true range for that stock. So if that is something that you trade, y'all, I say trade carefully. And next on our list is Carnival Cruise Lines, CCL. It normally moves about $1.48. Not really a big mover. However, if by chance we break above, say, 18.22, we have an upside target of 18.26. Now to the downside, under 17.66, downside target 17.50. Carnival Cruise Line is an inside day candle for us. So if that's something that you trade, I say trade carefully. ChargePoint is next on our list. Let me see if I can get that together. ChargePoint is next on our list, and I normally don't do anything under the dollar. So if you're trading ChargePoint, I just say trade carefully. It is an inside day candle. Cleveland Cliffs is also an inside day candle. And if by chance we break under, let's say, this level, If we break above $7.40, we have $7.45 as the target. To the downside, under $7.05, $6.99 is the target. Cleveland Cliffs normally move about, let's say, 31 cents per day. So that's 81 cents per day. Again, it's not a big mover, so if that's something that you trade, I say trade carefully. Cisco is next on our list as an inside day candle. It normally moves $2.36. If by chance we break above 56.42, we have an upside target of 57.07. Now to the downside, under 55.66, downside target 55.42 for Cisco CSCO. If that is something that you trade, I say trade carefully. DAL or Delta Airlines is an inside day candle. It normally moves about $3.50 per day. Again, y'all, that could be in either direction. So if by chance we break above 41.22, upside target is 42.13. Now to the downside, under $40.19, we have $39.91. So if DAL or Delta Airlines is something that you trade, I say trade carefully. It is an inside day candle. Now what's next on the list is DBX or Dropbox. And normally it normally moves about $1.27 per day. If by chance we break above this 27.17, upside target is 27.30. Now to the downside, under 26.75, we have a downside target of 26.49. So DBX or Dropbox is an inside day candle. EQT is next on our list. If by chance, and yes, that is a little bit. Okay, if by chance we break above 51.76, upside target here is 51.91. Now to the downside, under $50.73, $50.46 is the target. EQT normally moves about $3.09. Again, that could be in either direction. So if that is something that you trade, I say trade carefully. TNT is next on our list as an inside day candle, and I'll just make those a little bit bigger, y'all, so that I can see them clearly. Okay, so if by chance we break above 97.35, we have 98.60 as the target. To the downside, under 95.69, we have a downside target here of 94.80. So if FTNT is something that you trade, again, it normally moves $5.27, and that is in either direction. So I say trade carefully. IP or International Paper is also on a list as an inside day candle. If by chance we break above, let's see, this level 47.09, we have an upside target 47.09, not very far, right? But to the downside, under 46.11, downside target 45.93. International Paper or IP normally moves about $2.93 per day. So if that is something that you trade, I'd say trade carefully. Let's see, I do believe Meta, I normally have that on my list as just something that I look at daily, but it too is an inside day candle for today or for April the 21st. So if by chance we break above 507.60, we have an upside target here of 513.41. To the downside, under 498.05, downside target for Meta is 495.47, and Meta normally moves about $35.56 per day, and that is in either direction. So if Meta is something that you trade, I say trade carefully. And Oracle, it's next on the list as an inside day candle. It normally moves $7.93 per day. And let's say if by chance we break above 131.38, 132.61 is the target. Now to the downside, under 128.46, we have 127.69 as the downside target. Oracle, ORCL, again moves $7.93 on average per day. If that is something that you trade, it is an inside day candle. Pfizer or PFE is also an inside day candle. It normally moves 94 cents per day. Not really a big mover. However, if that's something that you like to trade, if by chance we break above 22.56, upside target 22.71. Now to the downside, under 22.08, we have a downside target of 21.94. So if PFE is something that you like to trade, I say trade carefully. Y'all, Palantir is on the list as an inside day candle. So if that is something that you trade, I say trade carefully. It normally moves about $8.29 per day. So if by chance we break above the $95.16, we have $97.34 as the target. Now to the downside, under $92.21, downside target is $89.59. So PLTR, or Palantir, is an inside day candle. QQQ is also an inside day candle. If by chance we break above $447.75, upside target is $452.62. Now to the downside, under $441.36, downside target is $437.76. And QQQ normally moves about $22.07. Again, y'all, that could be in either direction. So if that is something that you trade, I say trade carefully. Rivian is next on our list as an inside day candle. If by chance we break above 1169, 1134 is the target. And if by chance, let me rephrase that, for Rivian, we normally move 97 cents per day. If by chance we break above $11.69, we have $12.15 as the upside target. Now, to the downside, under 1134, 1116 is the target for the downside. So if that's something that you trade, I say trade carefully, y'all. And Shop is next on our list. It normally moves $9.24 per day, again in either direction. So if by chance we break above 85.15, we have an upside target here of 85.39. Now under 81.84, downside target for Shop is at 81.32. Again, y'all, it normally moves $9.24 per day. That is in either direction. SoFi is next on our list as an inside day candle. And let me see if I can get there. We are. If we break above $11.05, upside target is $11.23. Yes, and if by chance we break under $10.69, downside target $10.50. And again, SoFi normally moves about $1.12 per day. It is an inside day candle. And that $1.12 can be in either direction. So SQQQ is an inside day candle. Above $39.45, we have an upside target of $40.04. Now to the downside, under $37.70, we have a downside target at $36.49. And SQQQ normally moves $6.45. That is the ATR, or the average true range. So if that's something that you trade, I say trade carefully. Now T, or AT&T, is next on our list. If by chance we break above $27.51, upside target $27.79. Now to the downside, under $27.02, we have a downside target of $26.93. Let me make sure I have that right. Yes, $26.93. AT&T, or T, normally moves 94 cents per day, y'all. So if that's something that you trade, I say trade carefully. And Tesla, y'all, do you see the difference in how my Tesla charts look? It's because Tesla is something that I just like to trade every day, often, or I've been charting, let me rephrase that. I've been charting Tesla for a while, so that's why we have so many different lines there, right? Now, it is an inside day candle, which is interesting, right? So above 244.34, upside target for Tesla is at 251.97. To the downside, under 237.68, downside target for Tesla is 233.89, or 233.89. So if you're trading Tesla, it is an inside day candle. And I say so often, y'all, Tesla does what it does. So if that's something that you trade, I say trade carefully. Walmart, WMT, is next on our list as an inside day candle. If by chance we break above $93.89, upside target $94.30. Now to the downside, under $91.54 for Walmart, downside target $90.61. And Walmart normally moves about $3.97. Again, that could be in either direction. So if that's something that you trade, I say trade carefully. SPX is last on our list as an inside day candle for now. So SPX normally moves $227.09 per day. That is the ATR as of now. If by chance we break above $5,329.43, upside target is 5367.34. To the downside, under 5256.25, we have a downside target at 5220.79. So if SPX is something that you trade, again, it normally moves $227.09 per day. I say trade carefully. Normally with the inside day candles, I would mark my alerts to let me know, once it break through my trigger here, that we could possibly make it to this point here. And back to the downside, I will do the exact same thing. Once we break under this level here, we could very well come back down to this target here. So I will set my alerts to let me know once we got close to those areas. Again, not financial advice. So I hope these videos are very, very helpful. If this is something that you trade, make sure you have the discipline, to set your stop losses. If the trade should go against you, make sure you have the discipline to, have your stop losses, have the discipline to get out of those, or whatever it is that you choose to use. Make sure you don't blow your account trying to stay in a losing trade. I needed to say that, right? So again, I hope that everyone have a very profitable day, a very, very productive day. If you could please like, share, comment, subscribe, because we learn and we grow together. With that being said, y'all, until next time, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.